This video showcases the Fraser Basin Council Youth Committee's Stewardship Legacy Project. Its purpose is to engage with, learn from, and profile the success of 3 stewardship projects in different regions of the Fraser River Basin. The project enabled the Youth Committee to connect with other youth, adults, and elders to facilitate intergenerational learning and dialogue. Through translating our learning with multimedia, we hope to celebrate and inspire watershed stewardship across the Fraser Basin and beyond. We will profile the stories and successes of 3 stewardship initiatives: the Seton Restoration Project, Salmon Safe, and the Shuswap Lake Integrated Planning Process. The Fraser Basin Council's Youth Committee brings a fresh perspective to the work of the Council. Members of the committee develop and advise on sustainability initiatives related to youth. We also bring a youth voice to the broader work of the Council by participating on other Council committees and task forces. There are currently 6 members on the Youth Committee.
Hi, my name is Ruth.
Eddie Rothschild.
Hi, my name is Arena. Neil.
Hi, I'm Natalia.
Now for 3 awesome projects. The Seton Restoration Project addresses the fragmentation of a critical wildlife corridor between the Fraser River and the Seton Lake Dam. The Lillooet Naturalist Society worked in partnership with the Cayush Creek Statlium to take on this project. The Seton River, locally known as Cayush Creek, stretches all the way from the Seton Lake to the Fraser River. There were a lot of impacts from hydro, as well as many rare and endangered species in the area. The land was being intensively used. The overall goal of the project was to restore the land, native plant ecosystems, native riparian habitat, and improve what exists.
When we first started this project, we realized that there were some high-value wildlife areas in the corridor. There were also some areas that could become a higher value.
They started with one restoration project, then expanded the vision and looked at a wider region to see where more restoration work could be done. The transformation was incredible. In the same place where you saw impacted ground that looked dead to the world, we now see all different types of native plants that can grow there. One of the project's biggest successes was bringing together so many diverse stakeholder groups. The goal of convening this group was to create a unified vision for the Seton corridor, with wildlife habitat as the main focus, while acknowledging it as an area where people live and work.
You've got industry and First Nations and the local public all at the table discussing this place, looking to the future, thinking how can we manage, support, and maintain what's here.
In the outreach work, they had elders come in and provide their expertise. One of the goals is to build a knowledge base with young people in the Cayush Reserve. The community also came together for a festival called Walking with the Smolts, in honor of Seton River salmon. The event provided opportunities to learn about healthy rivers, watersheds, and the salmon cycle. All ages celebrated the salmon spawning through music, costume, and dance. The Seton Restoration Project provided an opportunity to unite scientific and traditional values. The Statlium Nation have great cultural stewardship traditions and participated by training young people in the community to use the traditional knowledge in conjunction with scientific knowledge. Part of the project was to increase capacity building, such as through fish surveying, vegetation surveying, and training local Aboriginal members. They were all trained using the scientific method. Many of the youth came into the project not knowing what restoration work was, and discovered a newfound interest.
I love learning all the different types of things, the different types of diseases that the plants can get from like invasives and natives.
The Seton Project not only helped restore and conserve a significant wildlife ecosystem, but it also brought diverse members of the community together. It provided a unique intergenerational learning opportunity, developing future stewards of healthy watersheds. The biggest thing for doing work like this is providing work for young people so they can learn about their area, about their natural history. We do a lot of outreach work, and if you want to involve young people and become really knowledgeable, you really have to provide work for them. There's also an educational component to restoration work. It requires the participant to look at the world in a different way and physically connect with it. It's a very powerful and engaging tool.
Salmon Safe is an independent third-party certification program that helps to educate land users, retailers, and consumers about the importance of protecting healthy and functioning ecosystems and watersheds that are essential to Pacific salmon. Salmon Safe BC has been jointly developed and delivered by the Pacific Salmon Foundation, Fraser Basin Council, and Salmon Safe, which has been active and well-respected in the U.S. Pacific Northwest since the mid-90s. The demand for Salmon Safe in British Columbia came from BC farmers and volunteers who work on watershed conservation. It was a mechanism to differentiate their products in local food markets, encourage other farms to adopt agricultural practices that protect salmon, and recognize progressive land development and management practices in urban, suburban, and rural environments. Products from Salmon Safe certified farms are available at over 25 farmers markets throughout British Columbia.
Farmers play a big role in protecting salmon habitat and healthy ecosystems.
Pacific salmon are not simply an iconic symbol of the past. They must be valued and sustained for their economic, environmental, and cultural significance. Because our major river systems coincide with the most productive agricultural valleys, farmers play a critical role in protecting water quality and restoring the once abundant salmon population, whose decline has become one of the most pressing environmental concerns facing our region.
The main objective is getting more people educated about environmental practices and about the Salmon Safe program.
Many organizations have helped establish the Salmon Safe program, and many small regional organizations are helping as well, by identifying candidates, helping in outreach, and discussing program objectives. One organization that has helped quite a bit is the Okanagan Nation Alliance. They identified potential candidates in the region and looked at different aspects of their territories as they had a great deal of expertise in biodiversity.
The Okanagan Nation Alliance had a lot of expertise to offer, was one of the members of the Technical Advisory Committee for informing the Salmon Safe standards of BC.
The Okanagan Nation Alliance have worked for many years on salmon restoration in the Okanagan Basin. With agriculture being one of the larger industries and water being scarce in the Okanagan, having a program like Salmon Safe meets our objectives, and having Salmon Safe implemented in the agricultural industry would benefit salmon in the Okanagan.
Salmon Safe BC projects also incorporate intergenerational work, demonstrated in its most recent partnership with the City of Surrey's Salmon Habitat Restoration Program, or SHARP.
We have recently got in touch with SHARP, with the City of Surrey. It's their salmon program. It's definitely youth-based. It involves a lot of youth going to talk to landowners to see how they can help with environmental practices and doing some restoration work right on their field.
Salmon Safe BC's key successes stem from its collaborative approach and partnerships with people who are passionate about the future of our salmon and our watershed ecosystems.
Making partnerships and finding people that believe in what you're doing is key.
While researching the Salmon Safe project, we have learned that youth can play a significant role in the sustainability of our watershed ecosystems through participating in habitat restoration projects, purchasing Salmon Safe certified products, and spreading the word about the Salmon Safe program.
We are hoping that the future generations are aware of the fact that they can make a difference.
SLIPP is a partnership program of multiple stakeholders in the Shuswap watershed. Its purpose is to improve communication and coordination between federal and provincial government agencies and local governments, each of whom have legislation, bylaws, and mandates to implement and enforce on the lake as they pertain to issues of the environment, business, and development. SLIPP currently includes 13 governing bodies, First Nations, business, community groups, concerned citizens, and the Fraser Basin Council as the program administrator. SLIPP was initiated to address a number of concerns.
Around 2006, the Crown Lands received application for 1,200 boat slips in 1 year, and one of the questions that came up, is it sustainable? Just the rapid development of waterfront property on Shuswap Lake. There were some questions being raised with water quality, fish, just level of development. The change to the local people were saying a lot of stuff like, it's changing so fast, we're not comfortable with this. So I think that was what sort of inspired it, was just the culmination of a few things happening all around at that same time.
SLIPP's benefits include the coordination and inclusivity of all stakeholders around the Shuswap.
SLIPP process was designed to do was get everybody talking and working closer.
First Nations getting involved in SLIPP is one of the greatest things that we've had happen, because today we've been asked to sit on different boards. We are the first stewards and caretakers of the waters.
Our agencies aren't throwing each other under the bus, they're just working together. There's a lot more understanding of each other's mandate and how a decision that one agency makes can have an impact on another agency's ability to complete their mandate.
Together, SLIPP actors have achieved the development of a recreational management plan, an integrated water quality monitoring system, foreshore mapping of the watershed, and various restoration initiatives. Recognized within SLIPP is the need for a body to work as a coordinator and facilitator across generations so that values of stewardship remain in the community.
For youth engagement in the Shuswap is there's the First Nation Interpretive Center. The Shuswap Environmental Action Society do activities that are cleanup related, they do activities that are educational related. They're really interested in getting involved with the youth. There's the Kingfisher Interpretive Center, and people are starting to move towards developing an outdoor school. There's the Trail Alliance, so work experience there for youth. And there is a lot of the elementary schools are really active because they do so many really neat things by engaging their students. So those are the main sources, and it would be nice to connect them all so that there's some kind of main central source so that the youth could see that they're either participating or they're involved in something bigger, or they see what their role is, or something central. And I kind of see either SLIPP or the schools acting as a bit of a centralized location for this stuff.
Hopefully down the road we could create a Shuswap Watershed Council, and one of its roles would be education and working with the school to ensure that the watershed is part of the curriculum at all grade levels.
There's got to be a way for the community and the schools to work together and engage in this challenging nature of educating about the basic systems that support humanity. The fact that we need an economy, we need to look after the people, and we need to look after the planet.
Bioregionalism. It's important that people that live in an area learn about their area and know as much as possible about it, get out and explore it, and then learn to respect it more as a result. We have to celebrate our own regions and become stewards and care more for our own area. Ideally, for watershed governance, the watershed model, looking at an entire watershed and issues around it, I think this idea of having boards or councils around watersheds is an idea that should spread throughout the province.
Just attend meetings and go wherever the information needs to be given out. That's what I'm finding out. I know First Nations weren't invited to a lot of meetings, but now we have to attend them. Keep on doing what you're doing and spread the word out there. And I know the First Nations are kind of reluctant at this time, many of us anyway, to take part and to sit on any boards, but it's got to be done. Like SLIPP is bringing people together, all people that are affected by the Shuswap, Salmon Lake and Mare Lake.
SLIPP is more than the sum of its parts. It is an example of how different government bodies and community interests can collaborate effectively on watershed issues such as water quality monitoring, sustainable recreation, and stewardship. The long-term success of this kind of collaboration depends on many factors, of course. Intergenerational involvement is one factor and helps to build a strong foundation for the future.